Already at the back, we'll kick off with Alex from the BBC.
Hi Mikel. A first home defeat of the season on Sunday. Just wondering what the reaction has been like around the training ground and among the players since then.
The reaction has been excellent. We took a moment to bring the temperature down, to pause and to reflect and ask two questions. One is, how do we feel? And how do I feel myself? And then how we want to live the next 4 months. And it was so encouraging and beautiful, because what came out of that is very simple. We have earned the right to be in a great position in 4 competitions, and in the next 4 months we're going to live and play with enjoyment, with a lot of courage, and with the conviction that we're going to win it. And this is going to be the mindset and where we're going to put the energy. And I'm just hoping that everybody that is related to this club, especially our supporters, jump on that boat, because this is the way that we're going to live the next 4 months, because we deserve to live like this.
How did you do that reflection? Was that something you did on your own, or was it a presentation you gave to the players?
Together with the players. It was just a conversation about that. First of all, because I told them, first of all, how good they are and how grateful we are to share every single day with them, and with the position to realize where we are. And just let's make sure that we enjoy with a lot of conviction that is going to happen, because it's our moment and we really want it.
You mentioned there you want to bring the supporters with you and hope they join you on the journey. There were some anxious moments from the supporters in the ground on Sunday. What can you do about that, and does that reaction...
That's why I encourage them to jump in this boat, because it's going to be fun. Because the excitement, that conviction, that energy, that will is the way you have to live when you want to achieve a dream, when you want to achieve something that you play for 10 months. Because out of that, a lot of incredible things are going to emerge, some of the things that we cannot even imagine. And for me, that's the only way to live it, because we're going to give absolutely everything. We're going to prepare in the best possible way. And the best chance to deliver what we want is putting all the energy and channeling the energy into that direction.
Thank you. And then just finally from me, team news for tomorrow. There was no William Saliba, Jurriën Timber and Mikel Merino out on the pitch training.
Yeah.
Are they, I know Merino is suspended, but are the other two available, and is there anyone else who's not available tomorrow?
Those are out.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go to Chris from Sky Sports.
Hi Mikel.
Hi.
You mentioned bringing the temperature down. Was that because you're potentially feeling it from outside and also in the
No,
stadium?
it was because of the hectic schedule. So we played 4 away games in 4 different competitions, and it was a moment to pause and see who we are, what are we doing, and I said, okay, 4 months, how we want to actually live that. And it's just beautiful what is ahead. So we're going to live with a lot of enjoyment. I'm very convinced, because this team and this player have given us every reason to believe that the outcome is going to be really good.
So was that always kind of planned after this game to have a meeting like that?
Yes, we do it every 3-4 weeks on international breaks. It's very important to understand the reality versus the perspective, and sometimes you have to look with the microscope, and then you have to put the telescope in, and you have to be able to see everything with clarity, because at the end is that energy that is very important that we need to use in the right way.
You talk about perspective. I guess there's been a lot of talk in the last couple of days since the Man United defeat around Arsenal's goals from open play, and also the forwards, some of their stats at the moment. You have scored the second most goals in the Premier League, but is it harder to do when you sort of don't have that outstanding goal scorer, someone who's producing kind of higher numbers than the rest of the team?
I don't know, but I saw a lot of incredible talks as well about the team and individuals when we won in Milan 3 days before. It's the beautiful thing about this game. Same players, same team.
In terms of your attacking players, though, obviously at the moment in the league, the numbers aren't quite as high potentially as some of the other players in the league. What do you put that down to? And does the team maybe need to kind of help more to get more out of your attacking players right now?
We want those numbers to be higher, but as well, I think we are 3 goals away from the best team, you know. So we are not that far, so the margins are still very small. Maybe they are contributing to another players as well to score a lot of goals or to do other stuff. So we want to be the best in every stat, but it's very important that we can read the stats in the manner that are useful for us and especially for our players.
For someone like Bukayo Saka, who I know is driven by numbers, when he goes through a run like he's going through at the moment, where he's got no goals in 13, how do you read that as his manager? Do you have to have perspective in terms of his age, or is it something that is a frustration for you and him?
Yeah, look in the last 200 games what he's done. Very simple.
Okay, we'll move to James from The Athletic.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Do you feel that in any successful season there comes a point where instead of just next game,
you start to look more towards the finish line, like you say, you start to look more at the prize that's in front of you, where it becomes about, we are going to do this now, we're going to take this step together, a kind of turning point. Do you think that's this moment in this season?
No, I think it's still very early. I mean, the amount of games that we have in so many different competitions, that's going to be in the last 5 or 6 games, I would say. When you're talking different competition, talking about the Premier League, if it's the Champions League, the moment you are in those semi-finals, then you are very, very close. That we are in the semi-final and with 1 game to play against Chelsea. That's a different story. But up to then, it's, as I said, is put the energy in the things that are going to make us better.
And you spoke about the 4 away games, the schedule, how difficult it's been. Obviously, on Sunday you were playing against an opponent who had a free week before. Do you think that's going to be one of the challenges for you in the second half of this season? You hope you stay in all the cup competitions, the Champions League, but obviously it's going to mean a really tight schedule.
It's been like this for the first 7 months of the competition, whether it was with the competition league, domestic league and Champions League, or with international players playing for their countries as well. So there is nothing new. The good news is that we have some players back as well now that are going to be helping us, and we are so used to it. So that's never going to be the excuse.
Matt from The Standard.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Can I just check with Saliba and Timber, is that them being rested or is those injury issues?
No, they have some niggles, and it's a good opportunity now that we make a different kind of work with them to get them in the best possible conditions for the weekend, hopefully.
And you were emphasising there the need for it to be fun over the next 4 months. How difficult is that with all the expectation and the pressure from fans and wanting to finally end the title?
But it's part of the enjoyment to be in the table in these conversations, in this incredible competition, and that's what we want to be. If not, we have to go and do something else. I mean, if we don't enjoy what we're as a club, well, do we prefer what we were 6 years ago or 10 years ago? No, let's enjoy the moment and let's embrace it and let's make sure that we get the most out of that. And the only way to do it is daily.
And do you think the margin for error this season could be a bit bigger in the Premier League in terms of drop points? It feels like even the top teams may be dropping more points than they did in previous season.
Yeah, or smaller, which means that any team can beat you, and you see the difficulty of winning every game in the competition. So depends how you look at it.
Okay, we'll do the last couple in the As Live now. We'll go to Tom from Football London.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You used the word fun a lot in that opening kind of monologue there. You've got the biggest squad now that you've ever had. As a manager, is it fun to have that many players? Or like when we spoke to Christian a second ago, does that challenge and difficulty and the emotion of leaving players out sometimes ever become too much?
No, it's very enjoyable. And they make it enjoyable for the type of characters that we have, but as well the way they live their profession and how much they want to win with us. And that's the only way. And it's not about the numbers, it's about the quality of the numbers and the players that we have, the same with the staff.
So it's not about the numbers. I'm now going to ask you a question about numbers now, and I'm feeling quite self-conscious about that. But when it comes to the idea of the stats behind your forwards, in the last 10 Premier League appearances that your 7 forwards have had, in those 70 games, they've returned just 10 goals. I just ask, why do you think that's happened, and what is it that needs to change so that those numbers do go up?
Well, it's clearly every situation, every player is different. Obviously, the level of efficiency that we showed in certain actions, it hasn't helped to raise those numbers higher. Some others because we need to produce probably more for them as well. So it's a combination of different factors, but